All right, I'm going to show you messing with the fonts on this Louvre poster. And the first thing I wanted to show you, and I think you can see it here, is that this Abu Dhabi, having that additional logo, is too many things. Having extra hashtags works okay, but this extra logo here is just kind of distracting about it being from the Louvre. And we do have the hashtag for in Abu Dhabi, so I'm just going to take that out. It is a vector. I'll delete it, and then I'll delete the slogan that goes with it. So now we're back here, and what I wanted to show you with this is how to experiment with fonts, or how you might make decisions about fonts. Now this is a font that I like quite a bit, and it is Photograph Signature. You can see over on the side that it's 53 point, it's regular. Now, another font that I know I do like that is a script like this and looks like handwriting is Adobe Handwriting, and it's Adobe Handwriting Ernie. Okay, we could look at Frank, and that's printing. It is something I like, but I don't like it on this poster. I don't think it works with the other elements. I don't think it works really well with this modern font. And 53 could be right for that, but it's not right. If I go to Tiffany, let's take Tiffany down to 48 and see if she fits. No, well, okay. So go to 36, and then I'll go halfway in between to 42, and that's about right. And that's still, it doesn't give me the same sense. There's not that sense of connection. And part of it is it's not really different enough. If you're going to put things together, they need to be similar, in the same group, in the same family, or they need to be really different. So then my final choice, and the choice I already know I like, is Ernie. And Ernie has some great handwriting, though clearly right here we can see it is too big. But if we put it over the top here, 36 looks right. It's a little smaller, but if you look, that's fairly pleasing. It is very different. We'd have to see humanity in a new light. Now we could take this in a completely different direction. And the thing about fonts is we do not want them to look slightly different. They need to look really different, or they need to be the same. So one choice would be, okay, this is a sans serif font. So it is highly unlikely that we are going to deal with another sans serif font. Now, let me just show you some other possibilities of other kinds of fonts. And so I will go to the Adobe Handwriting. I'm actually going to filter. I'm going to filter to this, which is a modern. And I've got quite a few of those. And I really, there we go. We've got fat face. That could work, actually. I hadn't really thought about it. But what makes it a modern is the super thin lines and the super thick lines. So that actually could be okay. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I wouldn't have a problem with it. It's very different than the sans serifs. Actually, geometrics. They're also called grotesque, but that actually looks pretty nice. I can go back to my fonts then for a search. I can check my filters again. I can have it be a slab serif. Let's see, script. All right, we can stay here. We can stay here with the serifs, and this one's not really distinguishing. So I could get a one that's less of a modern and more of a Roman, which is a classic look. There we go. We could go to, let's go to Cochin and see how that looks. Now, okay, sorry, I'm passing over all those other things. I wanted to go back to Cochin. All right, so there's Cochin. Looks pretty good. It looks different. Obviously, it needs to be a little bigger. But what we would do is then we can look at it in bold, and in bold, that's pretty nice. There's still a lot of difference between the thick and thin. We'd go with the bold. I know 48's too much, but I'll just show it to you as a test. 48's too much. I'll try once again the 42, which is directly in the middle between 36 and 48. Still too big, and I will go to 40. Whoops, not 440, that'll go crazy. Okay, so I'll go 40, and that's pretty good looking as well. So if it's a modern, if it's a Roman, something like that, we could do it. And so anything that's different. Another idea I might have, I have a personal favorite sort of comic book font, and on my machine, you can get one called Grobold, Grobold, that I used to use all the time, but now I have Futurino that I have paid for. So Futurino, and that means I can use it in projects. The filter is not going to show it to me, so I'm going to clear all filters. Okay, so there's Futurino. We're going to go with, we could go with the outline, but let's just go with, we'll just go with regular. And I personally like it, but I don't like it with this poster. It's a little too goofy. If I go to 36 again, 36 is actually a little too big, but it's not far off, so I'm going to try 32. And that's actually too small, so 34 is going to be right. And so 34 would be there. But that's just, the rest of it is very kind of serious and formal. And so the place I could also go with a good choice, I believe, is, what is this modern font? This modern font is Artegra Sans. These are also Artegra, so they match. What I want to do is take this one up here. I'm going to go Artegra, so I can get a look of what it would look like thin. Don't really like it. I think I want to give it more substance, so I'll start with regular. That's a little thicker. Medium is the same. Semi-bold starts to get thick, so let me look at bold. We go to black, which is very, very thick. That I think is a little too thick, and it doesn't quite have the personality. So actually, I'm going to go to, let's see, bold and semi. I'm gonna go to semi-bold. All right, so that fits. It looks all right, and it could work, and we could change its weight and a bunch of things like that. But since these fonts are all in the same font family, this can work. But I think what would make this a little more interesting and make it feel a little more handwritten is what's called an italic, and that's a lean to the right. And so I'm going to go semi-bold italic, and then I think that's good use. They're all in the same family. That makes it a good design decision, but also you can see the italic there. I probably would ultimately go with it. If I was going to use this, I'd go with it a little thinner. And so I go there, something like regular italic. That has some of the seriousness and some of the feel of the rest of the poster. And actually with that, I might even take it back up a little higher, but I'm not going to do that right now. But ultimately, I can go through all these experiments, and it's good to do it. And then basically, I'm planning on returning to one of two handwritten ones that I like. So the one is Adobe Handwriting Ernie. Okay, so that one's, gosh, that one's pretty good. I like it. The descenders, the bottom of the Y and the bottom of the F, are pretty long. So I'll look at that one for a moment, then I'll go back over to Photographer, Photograph Signature, and I'd have to make that bigger. I actually like that because it goes beyond the center lines, and I do remember the number I had which was 53, but let me try 54. 54 is nice. So I'm going to leave it at 54, and that's going to be my choice. Now with that one, it does need a bit more room at the top of that frame, but I still would be more comfortable if I moved both of those up a bit. And that's just kind of the process as you're thinking about type and you're putting it in. I could make this is a line down here, so that's where it goes. And that once again feels too high when I look at it. So doing design is shift click, is constantly making adjustments and fine tuning. And some of it, I'd like to tell you it's scientific, but it's not, it's feel. So these are my final choices, the final result, but you need to go through the process to see the different kind of fonts and how you use them. In all of your projects, you're going to want to go through a lot of those choices, and that's why I also gave you those addresses of the free font sites, that you can find some fonts that you think might go better with your poster and with your design. And granted, a lot of these kinds of choices come with experience and looking at a lot of fonts. But this is what I end up with, and I think seeing this process could help you.